Hey, okay. Do you guys have kids and you really, really wish that they would just eat more vegetables or maybe grandkids? And maybe there's like a little bit of guilt for maybe not really providing the best food environment for them. Okay, so I'm going to give you three ways in which you can hypnotize your children or yourself. Because quite frankly, the way that our brains work is childlike. Right, is very childlike, not in a bad way, in a really good way. There is a desire to just have joy and pleasure in the moment and go along with what tastes good and feels good and looks good right now, and not a lot of forethought into like, how am I going to feel later? How am I going to feel tomorrow? How am I going to feel next week? It can be really helpful to begin to understand that that part of our brain that is very childlike can be accessed. And so that part of our brain, we'll call it the subconscious, if you will. The founder of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, came up with, he said, listen, everything is hypnosis or nothing is. Like, it just is. It's all about our perception, all about the way that our brain thinks and perceiving our world and our environment. And it changes. It changes throughout the day. It changes throughout the week and the month and over time and throughout the years of our life. So there's a couple of things when it comes to kids or ourselves that it's really important to remember when it comes to food, specifically fresh, alive, and vibrant foods that have all of the energy and the vitality that you really want for your body, the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients and the enzymes and the antioxidants and the fiber and the water and all of these things that make us feel like superb. Even little bits of sunshine, right? Like, literally, plants take sunshine and make it into something that we can eat and get energy from. And that's the burst of life that comes through us, is by literally eating the sunshine through the plants. Isn't that just a cool idea? That is just my favorite concept to think about. Okay, so number one, we want to make sure that we never speak of needing to lose weight or needing to go on a diet or needing to eat healthy. It's really challenging, especially for those of us who have been around and around on diets all over the place. This kind of talk to ourself, our inner dialogue, and or to other people as they hear us say these words is very confusing. And it makes a separation between normal food and diet food, which we don't want that. Like, food is food, right? The kind of food that is nourishing for your body and will allow you to naturally return to your ideal weight is food. There's no separation. And the other thing that's really important to understand and begin to realize and expand our mind and our understanding is that food isn't healthy. There's a really great article called No Food is Healthy, Not Even Kale, where he really explains this difference. And I think one of the ways in which we've really gotten confused is that the plant might have been healthy when it was alive, or the animal might have been healthy when it was alive, but now that it is food, it's not healthy, it's nutritious. And anything that you eat has a variety of nutritional value to it. Again, vitamins, minerals, nutrients, enzymes, antioxidants, fiber, water, carbohydrates, protein, fat. Like, there are nutrients that when we eat nutritious foods and we get them into our body, then we get to be healthy. This mind, this body, this system gets to thrive and be healthy when we're eating nutritious foods. So that is number one. Instead of focusing on that, what you want to do is you want to talk about specific nutrients that are relevant to your child. Like, say they're in adolescence, right? And there might be certain nutrients that are in certain foods, and you're like, ooh, this is really good for clear skin, for soft skin. Depends on like maybe what age that they are at, things that are important to them, because anything that's got to do with your physical appearance, your energy, or your health in general as a human being is going to relate to the input. It's going to relate to what you're putting in your mouth hole right? Whether it's water or soda, there's a big difference there, or whether it's pizza or an apple, right? There's a big difference. And so relating these things to them specifically, not like, oh, that's going to give you acne or whatever, maybe not even mentioning it, but just being like, oh my God, did you hear? Celery has this particular vitamin in it, and like it's really good for soft skin. And it's like, okay, they might not acknowledge that they heard you, but trust me, they heard you. And so just adding these little bits of information in for ourselves as well, right? Like, it's not like, oh, I have to eat this way to lose weight, because that sucks. It's like the worst motivation ever, right? Because there's always that other part that's like, who cares? So what? You're beautiful anyway. There's like a million reasons why weight doesn't matter, and it doesn't on so many levels. It only matters to the effect of where it is disturbing our life somehow. So that's number one, the way that we speak, right? Being very intentional about the words that we are using to describe food, nutritious, wonderful, delicious food, and the way in which it enhances our life, not like makes us sad sitting in a corner eating steamed broccoli by yourself, right? Like real food should enhance your life. Okay, so number two here on how to hypnotize ourselves and our children or whoever else is around. First of all, we always got to remember to be patient. But listen, never make them eat it. Never make yourself or anybody else eat vegetables or fresh, alive, and vibrant, nutritious foods, especially to get dessert or give dessert as a reward for like eating their vegetables. That is not how the body works. In fact, there's lots of things that are anti-nutrients. So it's like you put it in and then you eat the stuff and it cancels each other out. It doesn't add to each other. It's like, it's not awesome. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have it be where it is like you're suffering through something so that you can then get the reward that you want. Right? Like it's so much better if the reward is the food itself. So some of the ways in which you can really get that transformation going is to get them involved. Get yourself involved, get your kids involved in the cooking process, in the having them cut or chop or stir or blend or mix or season properly. Like that's super fun because depending on how you season it, it totally changes the experience of the meal, especially if you're using like fresh herbs and spices. Oh my God, it can be so much fun. And again, it doesn't have to be, it could be once a month, right? Like starting off slow and being patient and realizing that for yourself and for everybody else, that a little bit of something is a whole lot better than a lot of nothing. And our mood and our attitude and our perception and the way that we present it matters. It matters to us. It matters to them. It matters to the brain. Okay, the third way in which we can hypnotize ourselves and our children to be eating more vegetables and make it more fun is to not ever give up and don't get mad. Easier said than done, right? That little twinge of disappointment. I know that I have it. God bless. I know I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but I have learned some things along the way of things that like really didn't work and things that are starting to work. And definitely one of them is like releasing the judgment off myself for not being perfect, releasing the judgment off of other people, realizing that there really isn't a perfection, but we're going in a direction of being better and better and better each and every day. And it's not a reflection of my value or my self-worth as a human being, and neither for them, right? Of course, we want to continue to be better each and every day, but it doesn't mean that we are bad just because we maybe have eaten something or not eaten something else. So instead, lovingly lead by example. They will come around. As we continue to make available, like create an environment that is conducive to healthy living, have water, fresh water be available, have maybe sliced lemons or sliced oranges or little, even like frozen blueberries that you can put in your water and kind of spice it up a little, right? Make it fun. It changes the color of the water when you put a frozen blueberry in there. It's pretty cool. You can do things like making sure that there's vegetables and fruit out and available. The more we see it, the more we look at it, the more we see other people eating it, the more that it's a light and encouraging environment around things, instead of like, you got to do this to get your dessert, or, oh, I have to eat this way because I had a heart attack, or, because I have to lose weight, or I'm diabetic, so I can't have the good things, right? It's a lot about how we are interacting with our environment, the words that we're using, the inner dialogue that we're having, and the way in that we've constructed things. So as you begin to change, everything begins to change. It's all about perspective. Recap real quick. We are hypnotizing ourselves to really be in a state of vibrancy, fresh, alive, and vibrant internally and externally. We're hypnotizing our children to eat more vegetables. We're hypnotizing ourselves to eat more vegetables. So there's three things. One, we're getting our talk right, right? We are speaking about healthy, fresh, alive, and vibrant foods in an invigorating, light, uplifting way. We're being intentional about the nutrients that nutritious food has and how it affects our body. And the more education that we have, the better choices we are able to make. Two, we are never doing a little this for that, a little tit for tat, a little whatever that is, that like, you can have this sweet, whatever processed thing, like if you have this first. Let's get rid of that completely. That does not help anybody anywhere at any time. So instead, we are getting each other involved, right? Doing the cutting and the chopping and the seasoning and like making it fun. Real food is fun. It's colorful. It's interesting. It like depends on the way that you cook it and things that you do with it. It changes the texture and the flavor. And the third thing is we're letting go of the frustration and the disappointment and the need to be perfect. And we are just going to keep leading by loving example for ourselves and for our loved ones. All right. I'm so proud of you. This is quite the journey that we are on, and it is worth every bit of effort. I love you so much. Talk to you soon.